All right, listener name, you ready to do this? Let's dive into some serious Shohei Ohtani action with this deep dive. These articles you sent are something else, way beyond your typical sports news, I gotta say.
No kidding. It's like we're getting this inside look at how Ohtani's success is playing out back in Japan. One of the articles even had a picture of Ohtani with his wife and their dog celebrating the Dodgers' division win right there on the field.
Yeah, I saw that. So cute.
Just pure joy.
Speaking of joy, those articles were saying fans over in Japan are calling him the smiling samurai now.
I saw that.
How can you not love that?
It's heartwarming, you know?
Right, seriously.
It really shows you the kind of impact he has. Goes way beyond baseball. He's like a cultural icon at this point.
Totally. But okay, hold on. We got to talk about this other thing these articles threw at me. While everyone's celebrating the division win, apparently Ohtani might actually have a shot at the batting title.
Right. What?
It's crazy, right?
Totally unexpected.
At the beginning of the week, I would have said, no way.
Me either.
But the articles break it all down, all the different ways it could play out, and it's getting really interesting.
Okay, so for those of us who maybe haven't memorized the entire baseball rulebook, remind me, what exactly is the batting title again?
Oh, sure.
I mean, I get it's about hitting well, but how do they decide who wins?
Yeah, so it's all about the batting average. The player with the highest batting average in the league at the end of the season wins the title.
Okay.
So basically, who gets the most hits per at-bat? Simple as that.
And it's a pretty big deal in the baseball world, bragging rights and all that.
For sure.
So what makes this so crazy is that Luis Arias, who is way ahead in the running,
Right.
He's hit a major slump at the worst possible time.
Ouch.
This Padres article I have here says he went 2 for 28 in his last 7 games.
Oof.
Not good.
Talk about bad timing.
Seriously.
But for Ohtani, that's huge.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, realistically, how likely is it that he can actually pull this off?
Well, the article actually does the math.
Really?
And it's more doable than you'd think. If Arias keeps struggling and Ohtani keeps hitting the way he has been, we're talking a .690 batting average over his last 7 games. It's possible.
.690. Is that even allowed?
It's insane.
That's ridiculous.
I know, right? One of the Japanese commentators even said Ohtani's swing is like a samurai wielding a flaming bat.
Okay, that is awesome.
I know.
But okay, so specifically, what has to happen for Ohtani to actually win? What did the article say?
All right, so basically, if Arias gets no hits, like 0, in the Padres' remaining games, and Ohtani gets at least 4 more hits, the title's his.
No way.
It's going down to the wire.
Get out. This is why we love baseball.
I know, right?
It's like the best drama.
The unexpected twists and turns. You can't script this stuff.
Better than any Hollywood movie.
For real, and it gets even crazier. The article also mentioned Ronald Acuna Jr. from the Braves is right there in the mix, too.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so it's a 3-way race now.
You're killing me. This is insane. 3-way race. You're kidding. This is wild.
Oh.
Okay, so we've got Ohtani potentially making history, but it made me think about those photos again with his wife and their dog celebrating. That's got to be good luck, right?
Well, I hope so for his sake. But, the articles mentioned that having his family there is actually a pretty big deal in Japanese culture.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's about more than just, having your family there to cheer you on.
Right.
It's seen as a way to honor the family's support, acknowledging their part in his success.
I like that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
It adds a whole other dimension to it.
Yeah, totally.
Like, it's this incredible individual thing he's doing, but it's also highlighting this, family-first mindset. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. It speaks to a more, I guess you could say, collectivist culture, which is really different from the whole individual focus we often see in American sports.
That's a good point. So we've got this cultural aspect, the family element, and then this crazy race for the batting title.
Yeah.
What else did the article say about how all this might play out?
They brought up an interesting point about how the Dodgers might handle Ohtani's playing time now.
Oh, yeah. Good point. The season's basically over for them.
Right. They clinched the division. So it's not like they need to win every single game now. They can afford to be a little cautious.
Yeah, they don't want to risk him getting injured right before the playoffs. That'd be a disaster.
Exactly. And one article even suggested that they might bench him for a game or two just to, manage his workload.
Serious?
Which, of course, could totally change the whole batting title situation.
Oh, man. Talk about a tough call.
I know, right?
What do you think? Would they actually bench him with so much at stake?
I mean, it's a gamble either way, right? If they play him, he could get hurt. If they bench him and he loses the batting title because of it, people would go nuts. It's a fascinating thing to think about, The articles really got into all the strategy involved for the Dodgers.
Yeah, I bet. And on top of all that, you've got Arias and Acuna Jr. trying to find their groove again with Ohtani right behind them.
Yeah.
Talk about pressure.
Oh, yeah. The pressure is definitely on. One article I was reading even quoted some sports psychologists saying that this kind of situation can really mess with the player mentally.
Really?
Yeah, they said, they start overthinking everything, pressing too hard, and it can become a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Makes sense. It's like they say baseball's like 90% mental,
Right.
and the rest is just like hitting the ball really hard.
Exactly.
Totally. It's like
Right.
they can't escape the pressure. But speaking of pressure, these articles mention something else I hadn't even thought about.
Yeah.
The altitude in Colorado.
Coors Field.
Yeah, exactly. The Dodgers have their last series there, and apparently that could really shake things up.
It's true. Coors Field is known as a hitter's park, because the air is thinner at higher altitudes.
Right.
So the baseballs tend to fly farther there, which usually means a lot more home runs.
Okay, so wait. Does that help Ohtani or hurt him in this situation? The guy's already hitting it out of the park like it's nothing.
It's a good question. It could go either way, to be honest.
Really?
On the one hand, it could give him that extra edge to rack up even more hits, especially if he gets in a home run groove.
Right.
But then again, it could also help Arias and Acuna Jr. if they can pull themselves together at the right time.
Wow. So it's like every time they step up to bat, it's a total toss-up.
Pretty much. And that's what makes it so exciting to watch. But, even beyond all the numbers and the what-ifs, I keep thinking about something else these articles talked about. The historical significance of what Ohtani's trying to do.
You mean besides the whole being an incredible two-way player thing,
Yeah.
which is already, one for the history books?
Exactly. I mean, we're so used to seeing him do amazing things that it's easy to forget how rare this actually is.
True.
But the articles made this really interesting point that if Ohtani does win the batting title, he'd be the first player since Miguel Cabrera in 2012 to get the Triple Crown.
Oh, wow. The Triple Crown. Okay, for those of us who are a little rusty on our baseball terminology, what does that mean?
So the Triple Crown, that's like the holy grail for a hitter. It means leading the league in batting average, home runs, and RBIs. Those are the runs a player drives in with their hits. So it's basically the ultimate test of a hitter's all-around skill.
Wow. I had no idea it had been that long since someone had done that.
Yeah, 2012.
That would be insane if he gets it. Just incredible.
It really would.
It makes you wonder what's going through his head right now with all this happening, does a batting title even matter that much to him in the grand scheme of things?
Right. It's an interesting thought.
We all have our own ideas about what motivates these guys, but we never really know what's truly going on in their minds.
Exactly.
Is it about personal glory, or is there something more to it?
Maybe he just wants to see how far he can push himself.
Right. Or maybe it's about inspiring those kids back in Japan who see him as a hero. Remember those articles?
Oh, yeah, they definitely see him as a legend over there. One even called him the pride of Japan.
It's true, though. And you know what? Listener name, thinking about it, whether Ohtani wins the batting title or not, what he's done this season is truly remarkable.
Absolutely.
He's captivated the entire world, broken records left